music means so much to me. I hold such a high standard to myself that I can make myself sick, because I'm like, this music, like, people always say, like, well, music saved my life, music did this for me. Like, music truly did save my life in my mind. If I didn't have music at the times that I needed it, I wouldn't have had this outlet. I wouldn't have this thing to listen to or this thing to express myself with, that I hold myself to this, like, I'm afraid of making music that doesn't do it for someone. That's why I was like, I'm afraid my music's not going to be the right vibe. I guess I want to help people the way that music has helped me, but it's like, that's an unrealistic standard to put on yourself, period.
I think that's a standard that we all kind of put ourselves in, though, you know, because I mean, I feel like we all play music because we've had those moments of just being at rock bottom, and the only thing that we had that got us out of it was just putting on like a song, right? And just like getting that, like having that get you through those times. And because it means that much to you, you want to put the same thing out there that's going to do that for other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when we don't do them to that standard, or at least our standard of that, it's quite literally like I could die after a bad show. Yeah. Like, you could, like, just take me out back and shoot me. Right. Because I feel like I just ruined, like, not just my night, but everybody's night. Like, everybody feels worse after seeing this show. You know what I mean? Or listening to this song. You know what I mean? So I totally can relate to that.
And it's such such an ego-checking thing. Like, you know, like, but there's been times where, excuse me, I remember, like, exactly what you said. Like, after a bad show, I remember, like, it was back in high school. I don't remember even who I was playing with, but I did a terrible show, and I just cried afterwards because all I could think about was, well, this went bad, so the next one, you know, they're gonna not think good. You know, it's just these fatalist thought processes. But, like, at the time, it's just like, this means so much to me. It still means so much to me. It's like, when you don't live up to the standard that you set for yourself, it's just so painful.
Totally.
I succumb to that too much with my music. Like, there's a producer called Kenny Beats, and he's very, very popular, making a lot of really good music in hip hop. He has this saying, just dots, don't overthink shit. And it's a really good process to think of, like, for me, because I will just get bogged down in a song for weeks. But if I make something force myself to make something in 45 minutes, I'll end up with something like Pornhub. Like, I didn't spend a lot of time on that song in particular. Like, and it ended up being the song that really opened up a lot of doors for me.
Yeah, it's very interesting. That kind of way of thinking is, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of on the opposite side of it, about that music in itself is a fleeting thing, especially for performance. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you can't ever capture it really in a bottle. So what's to worry about? You know what I mean? Right. So that's the kind of way I look at it. But I can totally understand and relate to it, because I felt that way initially, and then I don't know what to tell you. I just stopped, I guess, caring about what other people thought. And I know that's hard as a musician, because, like, how are you supposed to make money? but at the same time, like, you do yourself such a disservice as thinking and being in your head that way, and thinking of it that way, that it will affect your performance. And you could just see someone kind of clam up on stage, or feel awkward, or feel nervous and everything. And so I don't know how I got that out of my head, just performing a million times, and then just being like, I understand this means the world to me, but at the same time, like, I'm the only person who can feel any emotion, right? Right. So it's just like, I feel great, so fuck you if you don't like it. I don't know.
And what's interesting to me is, like, I'm 31 years old, and, like, I found out when I was 28 that I'm high functioning on the autism spectrum. And I was struggling with figuring out what's wrong with me up until 28. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, why I freak out and have anxiety about things, or do this. And I got so attached to music as a young child because it was such a relief and an outlet for me. But I'm autistic, so I'll just, like, pour myself into what I do, I guess. And it seems that whole, like, when you the whole, like, when you go to a show and you're, like, full of anxiety and is crap. Okay, I'm stepping on stage. It's still here. Okay, the guitar's on, and we're first note. Okay, it's gone. Like I experienced that a lot, and it's like you said, being able to turn it on or off. I was trying to tie it in with this whole autism conversation because I wanted to mention it because it's like I'm autistic, but I don't think that it's like what defines me, or I don't want people to think that I'm just like this sad case or something. Like once I realized that I was autistic, it made me understand music better, I guess. It made me understand why I did the patterns that I do. And I guess it allowed me to embrace my workflow musically. Like I'm on the autism spectrum, just high functioning, so I just like overthink and I have a lot of anxiety. And I like things get really loud for me. Things get really bright at times, and like I can't count cards for shit. You know, like so I don't have that going for me.
That's standard, bro. I'm just saying. I might be right there with you.
But it's like it was just one of those things where I when I finally realized at 28, and it's like as you guys know, as I've been talking today, everything has been happening since I turned about 28 up to now. These past few years is when all these things happened. Then on top of all that, I was dealing with all this of realizing I didn't need to be on benzos. I didn't need to be on SSRIs. Maggot Brain by Funkadelic, that one guitar solo, it hits me so deep. It's one of those songs that I found at the right time. It's just a crying kind of guitar solo, but it's like it touches my soul, and it's just like it's interesting how I can just these moments in time that are captured that it's like you're never going to forget that how you felt at that time
Exactly.
when you were listening to that the first time.
Exactly.
So that's beautiful. That's what it's really about.